This is St Brannock's churchyard and church in the village of Braunton. Now the church has stood on this spot since the 13th century. So we're looking at a building, or at least parts of the building, that are 700 years old. I think the church is open, so let's have a look inside. Well, it's quite dark inside the church. I'm hopeful the camera will be able to pick out some details for you. One of the first things you notice are the very ornate pews. Each of the pews has detailed carving on the end and a pair of letters. Now, whether that indicates who can sit there or whether it has some other religious meaning, I can't tell you at this time. There are a number of memorials on the wall. This one clearly been recently renovated, but it refers to someone from 1682 who lived in the town of Braunton. This is a very ornate memorial. Frances, the beloved wife of Thomas Baker, of the 5th Regiment of Foot Guards, an eldest daughter of Philip Rogers Webber. Now, Webber's a very common name here in North Devon. And high above the door is another one to the Webber family. Now, that's very high up and difficult to read from the ground, but I'm hopeful the camera will pick out all the information for you. And another one very high on the wall, and in this low light, I'm hopeful that the camera will do a better job than my eye. It seems to be Richard Langdon, but any more than that from the ground is not possible to read. This one, again, is hard to read. I think it's in Latin. But again, hopefully you can see on the camera better than I can see. In the corner is Major General Henry Webber of Buckland House in this parish. That's the parish of Braunton. 1834, I think. Again, you'll see it better on the camera than I can make out. And then the most ornate of them all, high on the wall, and the inscription is in black and quite impossible to make out any of the information, but very ornate. I will close up on the inscription in case you can see some information. Close to the church are the older memorial stones. Further in we'll come to the more recent burials. Very neatly laid out, all in rows, and most look to be very readable. I'll just wander amongst them and pick out one or two as I go. This large piece of slate is to the beloved sons of John and Eliza Jane Bidder. Walter Robert, who died in action in 1914, aged 19, so right at the beginning of the war. And Thomas, who died during the war, he was aged 22. This one to Ernest George, as the bells ring in the background from the church tower. Ernest George, the husband of Dorothy Adams of Swansea, who died at Heddon Mills, Braunton, in 1919, aged 30. And very much older in style is John Evans of this parish. He died in 1835, aged 42, and that stone is still in very good condition. And just adjoining the church, I'll just show you some of these very old buildings that Braunton still retains. That one's thatched over there, with small windows, thick walls. And this one here, that's a few centuries old. Still being used, still lived in. This is to the memory of Thomas Watts. He was drowned in 1963, aged 50. And his wife, who lived on for another 23 years, she died aged 82. And then their son, he drowned in 1862, so that's 1 year before his father. And then John, aged 18, drowned in 1866. And we're very close to the coast here, the Bristol Channel, and it has a very severe tide, a very high tide, one of the highest tides in the world, with some very strong currents. But still, to lose your husband and your 2 sons in 3 separate incidents is quite extraordinary. A more recent stone with a most interesting name on it, Myfanwy Catura Lord. Now Myfanwy is very Welsh. I don't know about Catura, it's a new one on me, but an interesting name. I imagine she probably spent most of her life having to spell her name to people. This stone has plenty of space for others to be added, and it has a very well-known and very common name in North Devon, Gammon. David John Gammon, who died in 1998, brave, unselfish, loving, husband, dad and granddad. This one with the large poppy in front of it tells us it is a war grave. Ernest, the beloved son, and R and F Shambrook, March the 4th, 1915, aged 25. This one has the crest of the Royal Air Force at the top, Kenneth Samuel John Irwin. Just a mile outside Braunton used to be the Chivener Air Base, so he would probably have been based there, and maybe liking the area so much retired here. I notice in the graveyard there are a number of RAF graves, and it will be because of the connection with Chivener. Now this is a good churchyard to come to because the stones are all so readable. It's the type of stone they've used. We've got William Harris, we've got John Parker, we've got William Cousins, we've got George Harris, and just behind them we have Benjamin Evans, 1848, Joseph Evans, 1836, Robert Daniel, 1860, Mary Emma, the daughter of Charles and Mary Lovering, George Jones, 1835, and over there we've got Joshua Evans. And I can read all these just standing on the one spot. Very clear, very good churchyard to meander through. This one has a lot of family detail on it. The grave is to William Butler, 1885, but he's put on there, although probably not buried here, the memory of his children. I go down from the top. Mary, aged 8 years, James, aged 19 years, George, aged 12 years, William, aged 15 years, Thomas, aged 33 years, and at the bottom Henry, 27 years. Quite a story there. And close by is another that mentions the children. The beloved children of George and E.J. Chugg. Edith Jane, 1883. Lillian May, 1890. Wilfred, 1892. The 3 children listed on the stone, and then details of the parents themselves. Another with a good local surname, Huxtable, in loving memory of Lavinia Rose Huxtable, and underneath that Albert Theodore Huxtable. And a sad memorial to 2 brothers who died in the First War. Ernest West of the R.N.D. Hussars died at Sheffield Hospital, aged 21. Obviously got him home. And William West, who was killed in action at Ypres, 1917, aged 27. They were the sons of Charles and Ellen West, who are mentioned at the bottom of the stone. This one appears to have had relettering done on it, so it stands out even clearer. Edith Maud, the beloved daughter of C and A Stadden. She was just 19 years when she died in 1915. And then we have George Henry Stadden, father of the above, and then Anne at the bottom. The one in the red stone stands out. It's larger than most. It's tilting to the right. Now, interestingly, the image at the top of the stone is a propeller and a ship's wheel. It looks like a ship's propeller and a ship's wheel. And if we go to the bottom of the memorial, we read Thomas Roland Wilson, Lieutenant Commander, Royal Navy Reserve, 1871 to 1917. So whether he was a victim of the war, a casualty of the war, is not clear. But an interesting memorial. And as I move further into the churchyard, I'm seeing a lot more of the modern graves. Still very well kept. This is a lovely churchyard. This one too, Jake McPhail, who was just 18. It says forever 18. And if you look back from it a little bit, you can see the outline of a football shirt, and McPhail number 8. Clearly his passion. One here with a bit of a tilt to the left, but it has a story we'd like to know more about. David Edward Michael Smith, husband of Kathy, daddy of baby Heather Angel, who bravely died to save another, aged 21. Well, in the newer section they've allowed the grass to grow a little longer and the wildflowers to come up amongst it, and it really is working out well. As you walk along, you just come across these patches of daisies and the little blue flowers, forget-me-nots possibly, something similar. This one from the Second World War. Frank Stevens died on active service, 1943, aged 39. Down in this area are the children's graves. This one, although it is many, many decades ago. She was just 20 days old in 1946. There's signs of recent flowers, and the stone has been relettered, possibly been replaced. So she's still in someone's thoughts after all these years. And here's one to Graham George Miles. Again, from almost the same year, 1947 this one, May the 25th. 6 years, but that stone has been looked after, so still remembered. One here to Lillian May Coleman, Lil, 1994, aged 66 years. And beneath that, remembering her husband, Albert John Coleman, Bert, and he died at Kenley. And another stone with a story to tell. Winifred Annie Smith, aged 81, and then Frederick William Smith, aged 79. Tragically killed 1992. So it looks very clearly that they died together. The grave is still tended. It's nice to know they're still remembered. Well, Braunton churchyard is a real delight. Beautifully kept. The stones are all upright. Very easy to read because of the type of stone they use. A real delight to come here and just wander amongst the memorials. It does look to be completely full now though. I don't see any spare spaces. It's right down to the end gate here. But if you're in Braunton or in the north coast of Devon, take a couple of hours out and come and have a look at the Church of St Brannock's in Braunton. Well worth the time. Till the next time.